Real life street stars, man. We in here with Big Homie. What's the
Yes,
deal, man? Man, you where you at? Where you at, bro?
man. Right now, I am in Ukunda in Kenya. I'm on the coast right now. I'm in Ukunda.
Man. So you were in the war zone, bro. I looked at your gram and your gram was going crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So I was in a town called Ruiru in Kiambu County in Nairobi, and the locals were having a conference, a conflict with the actual military. So I'll send you the video. Most of them still on my Instagram. I'll send you the video. Yeah, man. They shot a guy, killed him. 100 more dudes popped out with machetes. Oh, bro, chasing the police. That shit was. I never seen nothing like that ever in my life. Like that was different.
They were
Grenades,
chasing the police?
chasing the police, bro. Seen it. Oh, but my bro, I seen the wildest shit I ever saw about 4 days ago. It's raining.
Right.
It's raining hard. Now over here they don't have as much traffic infrastructure. So and it really ain't no rules to the road because you can drive on either side of the street that you want at any given time. Shit, yesterday, but a driver pulled on the sidewalk and dropped me off on the sidewalk in front of the store. So I'm looking like, damn. But out here they got something called Boda drivers. So most of all the deliveries on Uber Eats and apps like Glovo, they get made by the guys who ride on the motorcycles. They operate in different clans as well. You feel me? They be on some gangster shit with it.
Right.
Bro, a dude drove on the wrong side of the street because around 7 to 10 p.m. rush hour traffic is wicked, bro. Grave. Nigga, on the gas. The motorcycle dude get hit. He fly off the car, roll. He hurt. Some other guys seen it. They seen it while it happened. I saw why it's happening because we was in a little traffic jam. Bro, they called some other motorcycle riders. About 20 of them pull up. Dude try to run. He try to run. They block his car off, snatch him out the car. They put hands and feet all over the man, did him bogus. Then they set his car on fire.
What?
They set his car on fire on the gas and got up out of there. Shit, the police was like, it's too many of them. We can't stop them. The dude should have left. I said, damn. Instant. They call it mob justice, bro.
Hey, that's wild, bro. That's wild.
And they called a nigga stealing. My homegirl said because of this experience, she completely stopped eating meat. They called a nigga stealing. They put tires around this man, set the man on fire, burned him alive. Oh my granny. Oh my granny, burned him alive. They
Like
call it
cartel style.
cartel style, bro. So she say that because of that, like her sister, that smell, they say it smells just like Namachoma, which is like going to a bar and grill for us. They call it Naoma Choma. She said it smelled just like they was grilling goat and chicken. So she said that scarred her for life because of that.
Man, that's wild.
Wow,
Um,
it's so wild as hell.
what made you go to Africa in the first place?
See, what people didn't realize was I had always had a crib in Kenya, you feel me, ever since 2021. And I was trying to tell people that, look, once, I tell my story, my plan is to get back to the continent because Kenya is 47 different tribes, and most of them are warrior tribes. So we did our DNA test on my mom, and it came out saying it was like a large percentage of Maasai. So Maasai is a tribe here in Kenya. That's what my great grandmother was, a Maasai woman. Rest in peace to Mamie. And We tracked that down, and man, I just wanted to be home. It's an experience you gotta have. I feel like, especially as a black man, I feel like everybody should experience it because you can instantly feel like you realize, damn, this is where I'm from because the food they eat, like some of the customs, like the way our grandparents acted and our great grandparents acted. That's how these people act. So it's like it's a crazy, crazy. It's crazy. It's a it's a wonderful experience though, bro. Like, and then
Is it beautiful out there?
beautiful. Some of the most like you got the trenches. I just decided to show up to the trenches when I got out
Right.
here. I don't even suggest that. I don't suggest that shit at all. On the gas, free Dugar. I don't suggest that at all because you got to be on your P's and Q's, bro. Because it ain't no, it ain't no. I'm just gonna call the police or like it ain't no. It ain't no triple A. You feel me? You get a flat tire. You gotta be ready to change that shit. Ain't nobody coming to change that shit for you. Um, it's a lot of different things, but it's definitely beautiful. It's definitely beautiful, and like you know, in America, like I love black women, but most of them are legendary box sellers right now. You feel me? So it's just the whole horror culture thing, because everybody approach you like they want to just sell box to you. So it's just like you get tired of that. You get tired of
Right.
that. We got some legendary box sellers going on right now. You feel me? Salute to them. You feel me? Free enterprise. But I'm tired of that shit, bro. But they not playing no sexy red out here. It ain't no. You may hear a few Glorilla songs, but they playing our music from the 2010s.
When?
And everything else are Afro beats. But they got Rick Ross and T Pain and Fabulous painted on all of the city buses. They call them matatus.
Right.
So like they own our music from 2010, the 2010s era for sure. That's what they not
You,
playing real music.
people always paint like Africa women have AIDS and stuff like that. What do you say to that?
Man, they got AIDS and shit everywhere. You feel me? Like this is the most like advertisements for HIV tests and testing I've ever seen. You feel me? I will say that. But like, well, it's the same shit. It's the same thing, really. Because how do I put this? I just feel like it's a lot of misconceptions about being on the continent, bro. Because I feel safer here, which is crazy. I feel way safer here. Like it's way more freedoms too for us. I would say. You gotta be careful how I say that shit. Be
Right.
careful how I say that one right there. The ladies is amazing. I ain't gonna lie. Like you will see a lady who in America will have 30,000 followers on the Instagram. She doing push-ups and sit-ups. You feel me? Over here, she's standing barefoot. You feel me? With some goats in a field. Like it's crazy as hell. It's crazy. It's the wildest shit I ever seen.
Oh, okay.
It'll have you seeing the world totally different, bro. I swear to God.
Right.
On my mama.
You said Dugar is locked up, man. Free Dugar.
Free the biggest shark for sure. Free Dugar, man.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
My
Well,
brother booked right now, man. Oftentimes Dugar would sometimes he like to work alone. And oftentimes he'll go do things on his own and won't even tell nobody. Me and him had a clash about that. It's kind of like, man, bro, we don't know you're accounted for. We can't help you, etc., etc. He got a retrieval call, something he had been working on. It started with a domestic dispute with another person, and the person who called him. So it's an open case. He don't have no bond right now. He in Combs County in Kankakee. I don't even know what he was doing in Kankakee. You feel me? That's like, but somebody paid their money. Dude, I came outside, bro, and it went sideways. It went bad. Um, hoping to get a bond soon, and we hoping that somebody don't show up to court. So we gonna, not that we have anything to do with that. That's crazy.
Right.
Gotta be careful with that shit. Yeah, man. Lawyer said that law enforcement got like several hundred calls about us over the last few months. They kind of compared it to how when Tupac got killed, FBI said 12,000 people called in and said they did it.
Right.
So they say it's a lot of people calling in. They try to put niggas' names in a lot of shit right now. Free Turn Up God.
And
Free
Turn
Turn
Up
Up
God locked up too, huh?
Turn Up God. He also booked Free to Turn Up. Uh, allegedly they was together, or allegedly one of them arrived later. I don't know, man. I don't want to say too much on here because you know how this internet shit goes.
Yeah. Flip your words and all, I understand. So are you done with the retrievals? Or how's that working out?
I don't think I could ever truly be done. I don't think I could ever truly be done, but we have been coming under certain scrutiny. So I've been structuring my business with a lot more layers of protections. I didn't have to increase insurance by a lot. I had to increase insurance by a lot. Uh, there is no governing body for what we do. So you have to figure out all of the legal parameters that you got to maneuver within city and state. So we got that going on. You feel me? Uh, I'm definitely working out here for sure. Shout out to the Kenyan Army
Okay.
Rangers. So I'm definitely working out here because, bro, I could do a lot more. I got a lot more freedom. Man, bro, I gave these police $200. They took the money. They immediately went to the house that I said what was going on. They kicked in the door on the gas, kicked in the door. They beating these boys. They put hands and feet all over fools. You put maxing them out. And come to find out what they find in there. They find bones, they find children's clothing. So, as long as I can get my wins, I'm good. But it's evil shit going on out here, Rook. I tell you that much. Like this whole this whole child trafficking shit is crazy. It's crazy. Like they I'm not gonna say everybody is slower, but people are more easily manipulated out here for the smallest amount of things. They got these people called madams. They females though. It's a group of chicks, older ladies, bro. Like they like the masterminds of this whole child trafficking that they got going on out here, and like they'll be paying the little girls with candy. You see what I'm saying? And selling them to other like little sex tourists, all little creepy white dudes, and sometimes Asian guys I've been seeing. I'm trying to figure out how I can put something together to combat that without having an international incident. Cause man, that embassy, I already got the little warnings from the embassies and shit like that.
Wow.
Because having like this, like having like internet fame at any level these days, or just I take so many pictures every day. It's like, all right, this is something I got to really adjust to now. So like, everybody don't be happy to know that I'm operating in and around certain areas because in these areas I could be a lot more hands on without the necessary risks because everything for sale over here, bro. Like if you if you pay certain people, you can get passed with a lot. Facts. For
Right.
sure. But I'm not
Oh,
saying I'm out here, you feel me, just trying to be a vigilante or nothing. But I'm working with certain organizations, but it's actual terrorist groups out here that's operating. You feel me? You got to be aware of them as well. So it's going down right now for sure. I'm trying to be as safe as possible. We got some shit coming up tomorrow. We just went to the orphanage. You feel
right.
me?
I saw that.
You feel me? And all of them kids in there, parents are dead by being murdered by Boko Haram and Al Shabaab. These are two terrorist organizations that's operating here. So how we got mass shooters from time to time take place, they have terrorist attacks here. So got to keep that in mind as well for sure because it's going down. Like I got some crazy footage. You feel me? I'm gonna drop some. I'm gonna send you some. You feel me? And you
Right.
can see who some of the people are that I'm out here working with. It'll add some more insight for the viewers for sure.
Right. Right. Whatever happened to the guy that you came with? And you set him on the couch, and you were about to do a retrieval that day. Was he able to get his loved one back?
So my boy Dustin. So Dusty Rhodes. All right. His situation ended up going a lot farther, a lot deeper, pause, than that I expected. His case ended up actually getting picked up by some higher authorities because we had got boots on the ground. Young Bo Columbia traced the location. Well, them boys had a 50 cal on top of a truck outside that hotel.
Oh
So
wow.
once we got that intel back, he said he was just gonna go down there himself. We was able to get the embassy involved, and then one of the people that we identified as a potential trafficker. Once we brought that to some certain people's attention, his name seemed to carry a lot of weight. So that's got some wheels moving on that. That's some whole other criminal mastermind, like organized crime shit that they working on. But this all got to do with Trump designating cartels as terrorist groups. Like that have changed a lot of stuff. That changed a lot of things. Like certain people we would contact that work in law enforcement can't even talk about that no more because it violates Homeland Security. So
Mm.
it's like, damn. Like they used to give us like solid info. Look, beware of these guys. When you're on the Nuevo Laredo border area, be careful of these groups. They don't tell you nothing now. So that let me know like the uptick that's going to take place because, like I was saying in previous interviews, when the female sex worker they determine has lost value or has been burnt out, they usually murder and harvest their organs. Now, when I said this, people were outraged, but it is the truth. And we also just seen those same details get brought up in this whole P4K indictment, right? They say the same shit in there. They call old girls, her name Lady Duck, say, look, we're gonna sell old girl organs at the border. But they call that detoxing. Bro, you know the calls and emails that we have got. Oh my God, they're detoxing me. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had a drink in a couple of days. Oh, they won't let me smoke. So like the girls are starting to panic. And we didn't got calls about that. And shit, you try to call them back, that phone just don't ring no more. And it's starting to take a toll on you after a while. You feel me? So that's the level of evil that's operating for sure, for sure. So when I see an uptick in organ harvesting, that lets me know that certain powerful groups are gearing up for an actual battle for a war. So we may see some mass shootings in that border area. You know, they just locked up a cartel chief in Texas. So we may I know for a fact that they got surface to air missiles from Iran trafficked through Mexico into Texas. I know for sure that that exists.
Man.
That is a fact. Them boys got RPGs down there. You gotta look up. You gotta look into how much at the armories, how much weapons go missing from the United States armor divisions. How much of that shit go missing? How many soldiers they arrest for actually trafficking people across the border, to actually smuggling weapons from U.S. Army to Mexican cartels. All of the 50 cal guns that they have is from America. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Another reason why I decided I was going to leave America for a little while is, I don't really feel like it's safe for me to be trying to raise children out there. You feel me? Because if something happens, I got to be able to move lightly. And it's a lot of things that got me concerned about my home, about my country, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of things got me concerned about it. Because if China invades Taiwan, we will see destruction on American mainland. There's no way around it. There's no way to sugarcoat that. The situation can be austere. Circumstances can indeed be exigent. So I feel like more awareness needs to be spread to these topics, because if something happens and our power infrastructure goes out, that's like being set back to the Stone Age. Bro, people cannot survive there in America like that. Nobody has those skills. And if you can't go to YouTube to figure out how to do it, most people not going to be able to figure it out. Here, everybody already lives off the land. You feel me? Everybody got some type of business or hustle that they have. You know, you ain't getting no government benefits or things like that. So just try to stay ahead of the curve. You feel me? Because there's a lot going on. We got this 3-eye atlas. You feel me? Nobody's talking about this, but we have an interstellar object that is
Mm.
traveling up to our solar system. It is not behaving like a comet, and it's making its own light. If it's making its own light, that could be nuclear powered, solar. Somebody, it could be technological, and if it's technological, how are you going to explain this to people, bro? Ontological shock is a real thing. When when they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a lot of people thought that the leadership was dead. Thousands of people committed suicide. You feel me? They believe 8% of white American males would commit suicide if we have some type of landing event. But that's what it's looking like.
Right.
It's looking like that. You feel me? Because it's all set up to have a direction change right around the sun using that gravitational pull. If that takes place, that's why I told everybody to get Luis Elizondo's book Imminent. He named the book Imminent for this very reason, I believe. So, you know, very powerful people that I know said they're not making plans past next year because the world's going to be a mess. I'm not saying it's true, but it's looking like it. You feel me? And you heard it right here first. It's looking like it. You feel me? So I got my colony project. We done grabbed up some land out here. I got my colony project. The website will be up in a couple days, and we're gonna be taking in some families that can live self-sustained, because there's truth is stranger than fiction, man. You feel me? Something is going on, and I almost believe I just figured it out.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go look into that, Big Homie, because that sounds wild.
That's what's
Right.
going on, bro. You gotta look into
Right.
this. You feel
Yeah,
me?
gotta look into that.
This shit is now look, this shit all started when a Harvard professor, Avi Loeb, took that money from private investors to go scrub the ocean floor in areas where they seen comets hit the ground, hit the surface and go to the bottom of the ocean. They scrubbed these areas and they found spherules and technological devices and wires that was not made by human beings. They went and found this shit. This is made public record. Ever since then, it's been a lot of concerns about Oumuamua. Oumuamua is an interstellar object that came into our solar system and went back out the other direction. That is impossible to do if it's a comet. So, just want to put this information out there. I'm not trying to have people in a panic, but
Right.
people need to pay attention to what's going on. The way it's looking, we may be visited by something or a group of people or something along those lines. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's well. Um. Damn. That got me thinking. I seen something about it, but I didn't really like dive into it. I'm about to do my research now.
For sure, bro.
Facts.
Look into that. Look into that, bro. That's the real thing. Shit like that keeps me up at night because think about it, bro. If a group of people, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it like this. About 7,000 years ago, around that Scandinavian area, the white human showed up. Okay. Even Farrakhan spoke about a time when they didn't exist here on this planet. Their DNA only goes back 7,000 years. Then we also seen this group ban abortions because their birth rate has been in decline. Now, the alleles in their skin, where did that come from? You see what I'm saying? This is the only group of people on the planet who have tried to colonize everybody. If you was originally from this place, why would the sunlight burn your skin? Every other indigenous population on the planet is black, brown skinned people. So if they could show up here, somebody else could show up here. It's only mathematics. Mathematically, it'll be impossible for us to be the only species. Impossible. And it's like our government is drip feeding, drip feeding, drip feeding to lead us up into something. Since when have we ever seen congressional hearings being made public where you got a guy named David Grush who confronted the inspector general about interdimensional beings?
Yeah, that's never happened.
That's never happened before. And people got bills, people got relationships, people have children, people have jobs. It's hard to think about and work and keep this on the front of your mind when they got you trapped in this matrix. And that was my whole thing. Like, man, eventually I got to escape the matrix because they're keeping us stuck with one set of science, man. You feel me? Everything boils down to these secret organizations because, bro, the post office is a secret organization. And people don't understand that everything that is created and controlled everywhere goes back to some company. And I feel like somebody that sold us out. They asked at this congressional hearing, did they know about any agreements made between U.S. politicians and non-human intelligences? You know what the answer was?
What's that?
He said, I could talk to you about this in a private setting. What the fuck? Like who is choosing for us? I know who it is. I feel like I didn't track it down, and it's almost like movie stuff. But that's why they put so much in the movies because they don't want us to believe that the supernormal exists because they working for it. That's a fact. Because bro, a Ouija board It's an actual portal. They used to sell Ouija boards at the Walmart as a toy for children.
Oh yeah. Do they still sell them?
You can still buy a Ouija board.
Yeah, you still can buy it, right?
So it's like, okay, that is blatantly targeting children for supernatural forces. And then when I study through history, if the ancient ancestors indeed were aliens, whatever, they would demand child sacrifice. What is up with that? You feel me? It's the same thing. It's the same bilateral condition because it outrages me that I done made this into a business, but it's a passion of mine. You feel me? Bro, I never bought this many tampons in my life. I got a little sister, but you got 100 little girls, you feel me, with no tampons. Like that's wild. Why? Because if some of their sisters got kidnapped and murdered and raped and tortured, all because of these fucking deities and demons that these people then channeled and made contact with. And that's just the bottom line right there. I know it's gonna be controversial, but it's the truth, man. Because it all boiled down to the same purpose why King James in 1647 and 47 clergymen, might have been 1603, and 47 other clergymen edited the Bible. When they removed the book of Enoch out the Bible and they kept it for themselves. That's what all of this bullshit is about, man. But if you're not afraid, you stand a better chance because these people play crazy and they use dark forces to get their way on people. You see what I'm saying? So when Gene Deal said he seen Diddy praying with the dove and they killed the dove, it's the same black magic. This shit comes up everywhere all the time, straight up.
Right. Have you ever met any of these like leaders of this black magic stuff, like in like in this Hollywood game, or what I'm saying? Have you ever known anybody that you like? Oh man, he's like a witch, warlock, or whatever of it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, everybody is talking about this ball person, Baal. I was the first person to explain about this person. I was on Sean Atwood's channel last year. I did an interview and they asked me. I didn't really want to talk about it, but I put a little bit out there. You know, I have met several different people who practice what they practice. You got people who do Santeria. You got people who do Harry Potter. You feel me? You got people who do voodoo. You got people who practice Catholicism. You feel me? So everybody has their own voodoo, I would say. But I done met some shamans. You feel me? But I don't get involved with all of that. I don't get involved with all of that because you have to give up something to gain something from that. And that's why I never play or dabble with black magic, bro, because you will see somebody and somebody close to them that you never thought would die, they'll die a violent death.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, that other person is rich now. How many times have we seen that?
Several, especially in Hollywood. Mm.
Man, the man ASAP Rocky stopped dropping albums because of this. Every time he had dropped an album, he lost somebody in his family. When his sister died, he said he ain't doing it no more. So you got to keep these type of things in mind. And it seems like bullshit. it seems like all mumbo jumbo until it's not. Until it's not, bro. Like, man, I just seen people show up with things that I couldn't explain. I mean, I hit the lottery. I'm like, the lottery? Since when do you play the lottery? Like, you like, okay. Oh shit, what's that nigga name? It's a dude. All right. It's a dude who played for Louisville basketball.
Okay.
Okay. All right. He played for Louisville. The man got a Baphomet tattoo on his back. The man do some type of satanic worship. The day before a ceremony, this man had the highest points, the highest most points scored in Louisville basketball history.
Mm.
His roommate spazzed out because he said the nigga turned into the devil the day before the game. This right here is exclusive. Now, I ain't never said this publicly, but if you look this up, if you look up this person, he got that tattoo. His roommate is a person who just smoke his little weed. He go to school, real down to earth. He called spazzing out in tears. He said the man turned into the devil. He seen it. I said, bro, did he dress up like a goat? He said, no, 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 no. He said he transformed. And when he seen it, he slammed the door on him. When he seen that his roommate had seen him transform, he slammed the door. This is his testimony. I'm not saying I was there, but I do know he got that tattoo on his back.
Mm.
That man, he played around with something. And it was several other witnesses who reached out to confirm this. And this was years back. This was years back, bro. No bullshit. This was years back. Because whatever people called me for, bro, I come outside and investigate. You feel me? So that's real. So that right there, that's gonna be controversial too, but it happened.
Right. I do believe in those demonic forces. They are around. Like I've seen them myself, so
What
I
you
know it's
see?
real.
What you
I just
see?
seen I done seen some things, man. Like we'd have to we that's another
No,
note.
no, hold on, damn. Rook saw something?
I done seen things, bro. I done seen some shit. I done
Have
seen
you
some
ever
shit.
have you ever seen anything that gave you the chills or make the hair stand up on your neck?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Things that I can't explain.
Have you seen Prodigy's interview he had with the therapist?
Say it again. No, I haven't seen that.
You should check that out because he said what you just said, things that he couldn't even explain.
Right.
You check that out. The truth is stranger than fiction, Rook. You know, it ain't no secret that the Israeli space chief is coming out saying that consciousness itself may be rising and the veil can be thinning. Because, bro, I was in Dubai before I got to Kenya. I'm in Dubai. They got a big sign that says use of jinn, DJINN, or black magic for gain is strictly forbidden. And it's a you can get 100 lashings, 50,000 Emirati fine, or sent to prison. Why would they have that in the airport?
Yeah. Why would they have that in the airport? It's wild here.
Why would they if it's not going down, why they got that in there on the gas? Like what's that about?
Yeah, I heard some crazy stories about Dubai.
Like what you heard?
Not just like
Hey,
the women
fellas,
going over there making that money.
fellas, Rook is right. And I am a witness. If your significant other or lady you are interested in is traveling to Dubai, she may actually be eating actual human feces out of a bowl and coming home to kiss you in the mouth. So many diseases can get transported by that. That is a real thing. You feel me? Like they fetishize melanated ladies over there for sure. Like they get obsessed with them by seeing them on the Instagram, and you know like I've said in previous interviews, if a guy has too much of something, he may try other things. You see what I'm saying? So like people get creative. People get creative because if you eating a cup of shit, like you might as well just charge yourself to the game because I can't even really respect a person that's eating a cup of shit. Like I'm like nothing you finna say to me. Like I don't even want to hear it. You're not even a human being no more now. Like you just
Smells.
you something else. But that's going on. Man, hold on, bro. Okay, this was the crazy part. So somebody that I knew, he was like, "Man, will you smoke?" I said, "Man, I might smoke a cigar or something like that." He was like, "Man, I want to get some weed." Now I'm looking like, bro, I am not trying to get caught up over here with you. Because, you know, over there, bro, you can't even, like, hold hands or kiss your girl in
Yeah, you
public.
can't do none of that. We ain't doing none of that over there.
Well, you can't do none of that over there. So, man, they had a crazy way about getting their hands on their drugs over there. I thought that was crazy. So, like, you got to have a certain app or you got to download the certain map on Google Maps. So you got to go on there and download the app. Because if you travel around on an iPhone, certain areas you might be able to see it on the screen, but you can't zoom in and explore. So they send you a longitude and latitude and the actual coordinates to a location. You got to pull up to this location, but in the desert, bro, it's like 110 degrees in the desert. Bro, they hop out the little dome buggies with their little shovel and they dig up. They dug they weed up out the sand. I say, damn, niggas not taking no chances.
Right.
Cause you get caught with a gram, you can do 10 years.
Oh no.
You get caught with a
Yeah,
gram, you do like 10 years. So they gotta send you coordinates. You gotta go dig your shit up out the sand or the dirt to get your drugs out there. I thought that was crazy. Or they'll send it by a drone.
hey, whoever the hustler, he's playing the dangerous game. Like
Bro,
nigga, if he got money, he'll get a nigga life. He get caught.
he'll really get light.
Wow,
And then
like nigga.
but you would get 1,000, you would have to get 1,000 lashes first. You know what that is?
Yeah, no, I ain't getting no lashes, bro.
They follow that with a whip. Oh, bro.
Hey, they doing it in front of people, or is it just?
Oh no. It's public.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gonna publicly lash you, a public
A
lashing.
public. But see, one of my young homies said this. He said, I asked him, I say, bro, what's the purpose of y'all sliding and getting caught like this? He said, man, if it's public embarrassment, it's public consequences. And I said, damn, okay, you feel me? I can feel that. I can feel that. So they pride is more important than, getting a man and getting away. You feel me? So you got a guy over there in Dubai. He operate off a Telegram group. You ain't never even seen his face. You feel me? You ain't never even seen his face. So, because if he get caught with anything, he not getting no bond. He not getting out for years at a time. This shit all about perspective now, bro. Like, I really believe that we in some sort of simulation or something. We definitely are in some sort of simulation because how is it with all of these brilliant people on the earth we can't solve simple things as human beings? And as I traveled 14,000 miles to where I am here, people are trying to all do the same thing. Everybody is basically just trying to survive. Everybody is living their own little simulation. Like I seen a nigga balancing himself on a wheel, holding out a tip jar. And I'm like, damn. I said, how long you been doing this? He says since 2017. And I was like, wait, what? I say like every day. He said he been doing this every day since 2017. And I said, go to your Instagram memories. He said he didn't have Instagram memories, but he had his Snapchat memories. He go to his Snapchat memories, and sure enough, he was out there on that same day. I go look at my Snapchat memories from the same day, and my face all bandaged up, and I'm just thinking to myself like, damn, I'm over here having shootouts with people, and this man balancing on a wheel for money, and it was just like it's almost like somebody designed it that way. Like
Yeah, like so you kind of believe what 607 Unc be saying, huh?
607 Unc. See, people don't do enough. People don't do enough research, and people don't do their due diligence a lot. 607 Unc practices Gnosticism. Like he has Gnostic views, Gnostic. He has Gnostic views, and if you truly study the literature and you study religion, theology, you know that Jesus traveled around the world seeking knowledge. I personally believe he showed up in the Himalayas with the Buddhist monks, learning how to meditate and interacting and gaining wisdom from those guys as well. I believe Jesus on his path to seeking information because he disappeared for about 12 years out of the Bible. So he was out doing his own thing. You feel me? So in his research, he mentioned Sophia. And when he mentioned Sophia, it's like he had a divine he met with a divine apparition of some sort that gave him some information, gave him some knowledge. And this is why I believe they removed the book of Enoch out of the Bible because when you use the Enochian languages, you are able to channel beings from different realms. I believe that this is what happened with Jesus. 607 Unc has mixed up certain rhetorics, mixed up with his own rhetoric, and he then put together his presentation. Uh, he's interpreted Sophia for being the actual God. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And he's so he feels like the black woman is God, seeming as that they're the only ones who can give life. And then the Hebrew Israelites say, well, the man carries the seed, etc., etc. All of this was created, I personally feel like, to keep us literally from destroying ourselves. Because Bob Lazar, he came with this information from classified documents he got working at Area 51, which is called S4. He said that religions was given to us by these more higher level beings so we don't destroy the containers. They refer to us human beings as containers.
Mm.
So keep that in mind. You feel me? Like I like what Ugg is doing for sure. I definitely will sit. I plan to sit with him and have a little banter about his beliefs and my beliefs. You feel me? But nobody has been able to decipher what 607 Ugg believes. You feel me? And I don't even think he knows that he practices. I don't
Yeah,
think he knows that he practices Gnosticism, but he indeed does.
right. It's like when you talk to him, he does open your mind, but then it's
For
like it's
sure.
it's, it's a little bit all over the place. But then I don't think he ever lands. It's like it just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You
But I would love
off.
to see y'all
Take
both
off.
go at it on some religion. Like we need to do that. Real life and 607. I mean, you and 607 need to talk about um religion. That would be
That's
crazy.
gonna be
That's
that's gonna
crazy.
go up. That's gonna go up right there.
Yeah. Now we need to do that definitely.
All right, man.
Um, Speaking of 607 Unc, how do you feel about him? I mean, Whack 100 pulling up on him, to his location.
This is what I think about it, man. I feel like this. In the name of content, people are being more creative. And I definitely feel like certain people like myself, certain people like Unc have helped to like raise the vibration in our communities so that people just aren't solely stuck on the nonsense. You feel me? Like everybody like to see their little bullshit, but when people sprinkling a little bit of more, they throwing some of this information in there with it now. You feel me? And that's good. I feel like you can tell that they coordinated it. You feel me? Which is good because should nobody be pulling up on anybody. The St. Louis guys is very serious. You feel me? I'm sure some of the guys Wack be with would be serious. You feel me?
Right,
I did like Wack's his speech he gave. You saw his speech he gave about how basically it's got to be a change in this whole gang banging narrative, right?
right.
I feel like that was good. I feel like that was cool. I think I'll just always have certain disdains for people, but oh no, bro. I feel like niggas shouldn't be pulling up to nobody's crib. Like I don't think it should be set up like that, bro. Because I
It
feel like,
probably make someone think that they can pull up to somebody else's crib, and that's just not how life works. You
bro,
think
we
somebody,
just facts, bro. I couldn't have said it better.
right?
Life don't work like that, man. You show up to
Yeah,
the wrong crib.
don't. Nobody better pull up to my crib. I will kill you. I'm not. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's like the last straw. Like my crib,
yeah,
I damn near gotta kill you. Like,
right,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, that type of shit. I would never play like that, bro.
right,
I would never play like that. You feel me? And then like niggas got to say my name in an interview. You feel me? So like,
right.
he said some truth. You feel me? Like, cause Loose Cannon was froze. Like, Wack looked at Loose Cannon. It was like, damn, Wack is. He said Loose was froze. He didn't know what to do when he saw me. He froze. Wack stood in front of Loose and calmed the situation down. You feel me? So I do got, what I'm saying, a bit of respect for him for that. And we've been talking on back channels and shit like that. It's just that once somebody play with me, it's just hard for me to like be smooth because I guess it's a Chicago shit. I believe in. I always live like this, bro. God forgives, I don't, bro. Grave on the guys. I just ain't never. I just never been a fan of moron moves. You feel me? So it's like he be making some moron moves. So it's just like, man. And then certain people kept calling me saying certain guys is actual law enforcement. And a lot of weird things happen when you start dealing with dudes. So I'm trying to be peaceful, but I feel like you know how I feel about niggas, man.
Right, right, right. What's your thoughts about Loose Cannon and the rumors about him, getting knocked out in jail and stuff like that? You think there's any truth to that? And what do you
So,
think?
so look, so look, I got a book coming out. It's called My Stupid Man with the Stupid Plan book. And I'm gonna have 10 chapters. The book gonna come in different editions. The first edition is gonna have 10 morons in it. The first 4 chapters is all loose cannon. You feel me? Loose cannon. He might be the whole book because I can name situation after situation where this guy is just being a straight idiot. Why are you calling from a federal prison threatening niggas over the phone? Have you ever seen anything like that?
I never seen that.
He is on a federal line threatening Whack, threatening niggas' lives. What he gonna do when he see people before he is going into court?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's for the content or something. I don't know. I don't know.
But I just think fool an idiot, bro. I feel like we all know somebody who's a moron. You feel me? But he just take the cake for next level fucking smoothie. He's a straight clown. I never seen nothing like him before. The man loose cannon. That story of him getting whooped is true though. But it was a he had a he was telling people he was 32, but the man is 43.
Mm,
He was 43 going up in that fight with them 20-year-olds. It's not gonna be good all the time, bro.
no.
It's not gonna be good. You feel me? He got them young them young guys. So he throwing hands with one of the Hoover guys. And shit, he caught loose. Loose dropped, he popped back up, but he couldn't never recover all the way. So he got dropped a couple more times, and then niggas called it off. So if any of y'all see this, I'm trying to put some money on them Hoover guys' books. You feel me? Who rolled them about the spot. So if y'all see this, tap in with your boy. I'm trying to support the guys who put hands and feet on a goofy loose cannon.
Right. Speaking of Hoover, think there's a well, I know there's the Hoover indictment for the the sex trafficking. Ooh, yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna say this. My perspective on sex trafficking, sex slavery, oppression of children and women will never not be will never not change, will never change from what it is now. I can never condone anybody enslaving a minor to use them to sell sex and bring you all of the profit. Never condone that. Nevertheless, when you dealing with LA, when you dealing with this pimp and the pimp, the P and the pimp and hoe, the whole dynamic, things get murky, things get tricky because that's more of a business decision that those two people have made with each other. It started with a trauma bond, which people can look this up. It starts with a trauma bonding, and then, most of them call it the game. So they're sticking by rules of this shit. So that's why we don't even take them type of calls because it's never the sex worker that's gonna call you in those situations. It's the dad, it's the mom, it's the sister. They call you about, oh, she done went back outside on the street. I want to get her back. She's made that choice. Like she's not being held against her will. You feel me? Like that's what she wants to do. Whether or not it's beneficial for her or not, she made that choice. Now, one of the ways that they do this bullshit is, we say the dyke built dude, his name Popcorn from Black P Stones, who was fighting the little girl out there on the street.
Yeah, we saw him.
Yeah, like dudes like that, if we catch him, we doing them bogus. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie
Right.
to you. The dudes like that, you gotta have their feet pointed out to the sky, bro, because you did this on camera, like that's a little ass girl. You feel me? Like, you peel his fingernails off and shit like that, let him holler for a little while. And, because you have to reprimand people for doing this bullshit. That's the problem in our community. We don't reprimand nobody no more. Everybody can just do some bullshit and then it's just whatever. So I think it's disgusting. And if he ever get out, I definitely need a fade with him just for knowing about this. So if niggas can set that up, cause I hate niggas who do that shit to kids, bro. Cause when you know a child, a child is way different from an adult, bro. Taking advantage of a kid is just low life shit. Like it's just low life shit. I hate niggas like that. I am hoping they pass this new law where if you commit certain crimes, you get automatic castration. That chemical castration, we need that. I feel like that would
Facts.
slow down a lot.
Facts.
That, that would slow down a lot. The motherfuckers know, man, if I take this risk right here and I get caught, they gonna cut off my faucet forever. Damn. Damn. Well, that motherfucker never getting hard again. Bro, great. Pause. Yeah, yeah, that shit. I want to see
Yeah,
that
it'll
happen.
slow that'll slow a lot of predators down, boy.
What?
It could keep them
Fool.
in the house on the internet. That's a
Man, it don't matter how many times you jerk that motherfucker, nothing finna happen.
ain't gonna shoot yourself in the head,
Bro,
though.
yeah, we're gonna see a lot of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna see a lot of that. Niggas gonna be charging themselves to the game.
No, facts.
Man, I know a
Um,
couple definitely check. They can't get no action, they finna check. Free the guys. Free the ghoulies. Shout out real life.
Lady Duck, she's the like I guess the mastermind behold the whole thing. Like, what's your thoughts on that? She's like a small statured stud or something. I don't know, but,
So
but like,
she king of the dikes. You feel me? So like
yeah,
ever so often you see somebody like that. You feel me? That's king of the dikes, bro, and they be vicious. Cause I always tell people this, bro. Like ladies they brains process a lot more information than we do. Simply because after a while as a man, our thought process started to slow down as we fade into the night. You feel me? For them, they remember how you was walking different early this morning, and they finna confront you about it later on that night. And we all have been through it, where
right.
if it's something they care about, they can almost be disillusioned about it. You feel me? Like so, in that situation, she showed some critical character traits that you know definitely can be somebody who's gonna have a following. It can be alarming. You feel me? First things first, she's got charisma. You feel me? Secondly, she's a small built lady. You feel me? But she takes her image seriously, and she's able to get people to move on her behalf. So she automatically knew if I want to have this money, if I want to have this muscle, I need to have this money. And with this whole girls kissing girls thing going on, you feel me? She could get in relationships with at-risk youths, brand them with her name, and she put together an enterprise. She had a lot of respect in that area, and at the end of the day, all of these gang groups, all of these different groups, Crips, Bloods, was started in the 70s by 13 and 14-year-olds, right or wrong.
Right, right.
That's facts, and it shows in the outcome of its destructive forces, destructive nature in the community. Because I was out in Thailand, doing some shit. I was talking to some guys who were triads. They got rules. You feel me? They can't sell drugs in their neighborhood in their area. You feel me? They can't. They don't recruit prostitutes from in their neighborhoods in their areas. They do everything on the outside. So is it right? No, but the world can't seem to perpetuate without evil, and these people are contributors to it. You feel me? I stay out there pimping and whole shit because one time I got maced before. I got maced by a prostitute over her goddamn pimp who
Mm,
had just blacked her eye, and she had a huge big knot on her head. Looked like Martin from that episode. He was fighting the boxer. I'm like,
mm,
damn. And shit, we intervening, and she maced me. I'm looking like, shorty, 'cause I love him. That shit pissed me off. So I said, you know what? Okay, this is what this shit is. Um, yeah, that's a whole different dynamic. That's like the biggest finesse in history. That's like the biggest finesse in history. It's really just slavery. You feel me? It's just slavery. And it's like, damn, I hate, I guess it's the Anunnaki who showed humans about slavery because they made us to be a slave race for them. And then we rebelled. And then everyone seems to see, like, damn, human beings must be a resource on this planet to somebody because they using human beings to be a resource amongst other humans. So it's just kind of like an ever expanding and changing dimension of oppression, which seems carefully engineered to me. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now.
When you used to go like on the retrievals, did you see like people when you rescue them or whatever they be like branded like Lady Duck? You know, all her females had a Lady Duck on them. Like, did you see that a lot?
Man, we saw. Don't you know the brand they use on cattle?
Yeah,
We seen that just way smaller. We seen that on a lot of little females that was coming over illegally from Mexico. I guess they was coming from like other countries in South America. We seen a lot of that. Like the tattoo thing. We ain't really like the tattoos. Mostly are going on the males that are part of different groups. They use a physical, actual brand,
with
like
the
you would
fire.
with the fire
Oh,
on
yeah,
them, which is, oh man, that's just crazy. Like, why would you want to do that to somebody? Like, yeah, like the most treacherous I ever seen was being down in Mexico in that area. You go down there, boy. You go to certain villages. It's no men, or it's no men at all. Like everybody's been a narco and is dead. Like you feel me? You see stories about how motherfuckers they down there raping grandmothers. Like you feel now, if you go down in certain areas, if you go to the club with your girl, they will approach you and say, "We want to buy your girl."
damn.
That's happening now. You feel me? That's happening now, right now. You feel me? For sure. Because it was a little story about how a black girl went down to Mexico with her friends and she ended up dying. The truth behind that is they got her down there. Two of them had plotted. They was going to sell her to the cartel niggas. And the shit went sideways. She ended up getting killed. You feel me? So watch out for that back door down in Mexico because that shit is real deal. Facts.
Yeah, they got a lot of movies on it too. So you've been warned, right?
Now see that's the thing, bro. Like them movies, it's always bits of truth in all of these films for sure, for sure.
Right. How do you feel about Trump sending the National Guard to Chicago?
Hmm. This is very interesting to me because something has to happen. Because, you know, this is the most hyper advanced city in the States. Everybody resorts to violence for the smallest altercation, disagreement. You gotta have law and order. Problem is, I remember being in certain situations and the last thing we was thinking about was pulling over, right? Then they did pretty much got rid of the whole bond system, you feel me? So everybody gets a I bond or own recognizance release now. I just seen guys get caught with switches 4 times. Get out each time. Then once you get an armed habitual, what's that, 11, 13 years, that 50%, you back in 5 years. You back in 4.5 years and you got time served. Everything has been transactional. They turned everything into a business. This is the problem with this system. Studies showed that, let's say a billionaire guy comes out and just decides to pay everybody's legal fees. This would make the system crash because they say it's not even enough lawyers to represent people on each side. Everything has been turned into like the ant farm feeding system for what? Another trafficking organization, which is these prisons, these private prisons. It's no coincidence that inside of these prisons, the same way Chicago public schools look. You go everywhere based off a bell or a siren. Same way in these schools. And they aren't teaching tradecraft, they're teaching memorization. Soon as you ask an ID inmate his ID number, they give you this long ID number, all memorization. The program is falling. Something has to be done. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that armed forces and National Guard began with instant shoot to kill orders. That's going to be interesting. You feel me? The murder rate there just too high. Well, you got 40, 50 people getting shot on a weekend. Something's got to be done. It worked. It worked real well down in D.C. Looked like it worked well to me. You feel me? Because when you look at the whole grand scheme of things, when I'm traveling around different countries, these governments, when they go into these areas where there are ongoing feuds going on, they call them blood feuds. They have certain allocated resources to typically intervene into these blood feuds to get peace. Because oftentimes, the lex talionis, which means eye for an eye, that is what the law system is being used for. That's what the law system that the locals are going to go by, eye for an eye. We've seen President Trump enter into several areas across the world and get countries to agree to no longer be at war. How would he look as the commander in chief if he did, in fact, not show up here and try to do something? And any opportunity he has to throw shit on Obama, he's going to do it. Look, I showed up to Obama's homeland. I got these guys to end the gang wars. Obama couldn't do that. So you got to keep these things in mind. What's the true motivations? I can't hear you. Yo.
No, you. I'm still here.
Oh,
You
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Right. Um. OTF Boona gets he duct tapes a man and he executes him. I what do you think when you see something like that?
I'm going to give a Dugard quote on this one. Uh, Certain people need to stay out the streets because that's what they made sidewalks for, right? Because if this is truly your culture, your belief system, the street shit, rules apply and rules are needed. We always had rules growing up. Some of those rules was you never take shooters when you're going to go take some because we don't steal, we take. We gonna take something from you. You gonna know who took it from you. We ain't doing no petty theft. If it's valuable enough, you don't deserve it. It's getting took from you. Simple as that. Whatever the repercussions are of that, it is what is. It is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I should say. Problem is, you took whoever took him on this robbery. Obviously, what he's good at is shooting, because to be a good taker crew, the only way you gonna go a long stretch without getting caught is if you keep the violence to a minimum.
Right.
Point blank period. Point blank. 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 Period. His decision making This the thing, bro. Like guys be emotionally charged. They fight an inner zest monster, personality traits. They all Percocets, lean, weed, drugs. Where's your mental state at? You know what I'm saying? If this man is tied up, he got frustrated. He didn't know how to pull information out of somebody without using brute force. You feel me? He didn't have his toolbox when it was time to get violent. He didn't have many violent tools. All he had was his feet, his hands, and that gun. And he got to pay the consequences for that. So let this be a lesson to all of the guys watching this. There are no Glocks, no guns, no drums in that jail, my boy. You're gonna be in there balling up, bro, grave. So keep that in mind, bro. This shit nonsense, bro. He done took this man life, tied him up. He was already tied up. So this lets you know he didn't go in there with a mask on. You feel me? So they going in there with no mask, tying people up. They didn't watch too many movies, man. Circumstantial evidence, phone records. Everybody got a ring camera. And these guys be having dreadlocks, bro. Like everywhere you go, you can drop some dread hair. I don't care what nobody say. All it takes is the right forensic investigative team to show up someplace, and they can find a strand of hair, run it through the convicted felon system they got DNA samples from, and bang, they put you at the scene of the crime. That's how the world is working, bro. And when AI comes, when AI fully is full fledged, it's gonna be hard to get away with crime for sure, for sure.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna have to make robots doing all the killing now.
So
That's
look, so you see, certain universities to combat active shooters are all purchasing these armed, militarized kill drones. If you got a mass shooter, they can hit the button. The drones dispatch. They are equipped with firearms on the drone. They finna come nail your way. They call it a real airstrike on you on the gas. That's what's going on. It's coming, man. AI is about to crush the middle class, bro. People need to go into HVAC. They need to go into electrician work, electrical work, because AI needs so much electricity and it needs AC to keep cool to power it. Those sectors are gonna boom. People have to reskill, but the middle class is going to get crushed. There's no way around it. Another reason why I came over here to Africa because they consider it witchcraft. That it's gonna hit here a lot less. It's gonna be a lot less impactful when it hits here, and it's gonna take a lot longer. So, you know, I want to see it being used to empower humanity instead of making us obsolete. Because the average 9 to 5 worker is going has a job that a robot can do. They have Chinese factories that are operating completely in the dark. Everything is being built by these robots, solar powered buildings. They have the lights, there's no lights on in the building. Robots don't need light to work. Robots don't have kids. Robots don't got to take a break. Robots don't smoke cigarettes. Robots don't get sick. You see what I'm saying? Robots don't need housing. Robots don't have to go home. The robot can stay right there on the premises. This is another reason why we seen Trump with his tariff war to make these big companies put factories here in the United States of America to make there be a boom of jobs. Simply because if we continue to outsource all of our labor workers, and then the laws against AI are going to be a lot weaker in these other countries. They don't care what they do with people. If it's up to them, all of their workers would indeed be robot workers. So a lot of false narratives are being painted. You see what I'm saying? They say the world overpopulated, but you got several countries that are paying people to come there and have children. Truth is, the birth rate is on a decline in certain DNA strands on this planet. 100,000 years ago, something happened, man. 100,000 years ago, something happened. Humans was able to outcompete 6 other humanoid species on this planet. 7,000 years ago, the white human arrived here, and they traced the location to somewhere in Scandinavia. You know, we got to start to really look at the grand scheme of things if we want a chance to try to have a future for our children's children, I should say, because it's looking ugly right now. But I'm remaining optimistic, Rook. Shout out Real Life Street Stars for sure.
Uh, we had Do or Die on the platform, right?
Shout out Doing Die.
Uh,
For sure. What they was on?
uh, I, they was real cool, bro. I was asking them about you know, the history of Chicago and things like that, and um, yeah, he was just telling me about like Chicago's always been that way. The internet just made it real famous.
The onset of the internet definitely put a spotlight on things that was already deeply entrenched and taking place in Chicago for sure, bro. Like it's been the same way since I was a kid. It's just that there's completely no structure now. So things you would have to get permission for, like you don't got to get the permission no more. That's what led to the chaos. You feel me? Once all leadership structures were removed, and then we seen the children of the crack babies overpopulate the street. That's what led to what it is now. You feel me? Because we ain't have no Snapchat on our phone. We had flip phones and Nextel chirps and shit like that. You know,
Right.
we don't have that. It's just a whole big cultural difference. One of my homies called me, and I'm with my homegirl, and I was like, "All right, boy, stay dangerous." She says, "What? Why would you tell him to stay dangerous? He needs to stay safe." I'm like, "Sweetheart, I'm from America." You feel me? Like, I'm from America. It's a whole different ball game. Like, I haven't heard outside of that war zone area I was in. I haven't heard a gunshot. I haven't needed a gun, and that's just a sobering feeling because, bro, my ex used to say I'm trifling how I sleep with that rifle, and it's just like, bro, you just want to give yourself a chance to win, and it's like I feel like we brought up in this culture like these people have no idea. Like over here, they have no idea about our cultural norms. It just don't exist, bro. And it's wild to see. Like people here that stay dangerous and be outraged by it, bro. Grave, outraged by it, and it's just like we over here staying dangerous, and they got a sign by the beach that warns you about the danger of mermaids. Fucking crazy. It's crazy. Just think about that. While you right there in Texas, and we just had a conversation like, man, if somebody pull up to your crib, you killing them. Bro, they got a sign over here that warns you about being at the edge of the water too late at night because of mermaids will get your motherfucking ass. So it's a lot of things. We up against a lot right now,
We up
man.
against a lot.
We up against a lot, bro. Straight up. I got another food drive coming up too, man. I want y'all to help out with that because it's a lot of big artists over here and they following me. You feel me? And the Kenyan people and Africans support Africans majorly, majorly. So like, man, that's a whole other market for y'all to get into, bro. Cause, bro, it's Africa is huge, bro. This continent is. You can fit all of America in the Sahara Desert alone. Think about that. And that's one small part of the continent. So man, we going into a real another war zone, and we're gonna be feeding the orphans, bro. So it's going down right now, Rook.
Man, I see it. I see it for sure, man. I appreciate what you're doing out there. For real, for real.
Man, bro, man, it's got to be done, bro. It's got to be done. I get so many messages every day. People telling me like I meet people who cry real tears, like just knowing, telling me just knowing that me and the team exists gave them hope because, you know, it's said that 41% of women experience interdating violence, which is crazy work. You feel me? So it's kind of like, I meet with rape victims all the time, man. That pain in their eyes is like, man, I'm going to say something right now. One of the biggest dangers to this business is the fact that uh, oftentimes ladies will save their money so they can get some form of retribution,
Right.
right? And I'll say probably in 90% of those cases, once they discover that this service works, they usually have another situation and they instantly increase the level of violence they want done. That's probably the downside to this because, you know, you can see it in their eyes. Like when their eyebrows stand up and right hand between, it wrinkle up a little bit and they might perspire a little bit. You may see a little shininess at the hairline. That's a telltale sign that somebody is experiencing a adrenaline rush or euphoric moment thinking about violence against themselves or somebody else. So I'm seeing a lot of that going on right now. So it's kind of like I'm trying to keep a low profile best I can, but I'm gonna continue living my purpose. But I feel like it's what I was supposed to do, and it's working for me and it's working for others. So whatever it's gonna be straight up.
Mm. I want to ask you about another subject. The dancing boys of Afghanistan.
Whoo! All right. Now, peep this, bro. I want to speak about this because this is why the deep state Democrats had to get out of power. Check this out. Two special forces guys are in Afghanistan training Afghan police and military, right? One of the sergeants kidnaps a boy from a village, rapes the boy for days at a time. Two special forces soldiers catch him, confront him, kick his ass. They get arrested, locked up in the brig, and almost lose their whole military career, risk getting dishonorably discharged with no benefits because they interfere with local practices and customs. The dancing boys of Afghanistan is something that needs to be outlawed. The the ramifications, the circumstances need to be raised. You feel me? The consequences need to be firing squad because, bro, the soldiers tell these constant stories of these old guys with these little boys. Then we seen people in political groups going over there to Afghanistan for these meetings and then hiring some of the dancing boys themselves.
Bro.
Why are we seeing this over and over and over? Something needs to be done about it. Put this into perspective. They found up to 100 boys in these harems where these guys who claim that they practice Islam are participating in child rape. Where is that in the Quran? So I feel like, we got to start having more accountability to these religious leaders, especially misinterpreting and changing religious rhetoric to fit their need for the use of control and oppression. I think it's all evil. I think it all boils down to these same little few entities we always hear about. Baal and Satan and the devil and demons. Because why is it that in the Bible, when these creatures are around, they say there's a sulfuric smell? In the Virginia case in South America, when those people said they seen a certain type of creature and the creature was captured by military, it gave off a sulfuric smell. So somebody has figured out how to cross over between this reality and another reality, coming over into ours and then manipulating our timeline and manipulating the shit that we got going on, bro. Everybody that we see and look at is not a flesh and blood human being like us. You feel me? That's a pure, pure, cold cut fucking fact. And that's on my granny, folks' grave. It's
Man,
it's actual evil forces walking around looking like they human beings, bro. Like we hear about it. I've had experiences. A lot of people that I speak to when I go and investigate, they've had experiences. And the only way that we gonna stand a chance is we call this stuff out. We have to call it out. We gotta hold whoever is responsible accountable, man, straight up.
right.
Because the whole dancing boy thing, like, bro, this is blatant child rape. And it's almost as if somebody is benefiting off this on like a spiritual aspect level. You feel me? Because you hear about the shadow people, man. You
Yeah,
got
and I've seen war stories and people going over to Afghanistan and they telling them, "Hey, we just can't intervene." And I'm like, "Bro, what?"
not being able to intervene is crazy, but you can drop a missile on a hospital. Like, what you mean you can't? Like, what do you mean you cannot intervene? Y'all literally over here intervening. They said they had weapons of mass destruction. So they went to intervene in the land. But when it comes to protecting children, you can't intervene. That sounds evil to me. It seems as if the trafficking of human beings and humans being used as a resource is probably too powerful because Church of Scientology helped get some of these people elected. What are they? The biggest trafficking organization that exists. People join the Church of Scientology, they live for free, but they work the rest of their life for this company without getting paid. That is trafficking. But how do they get protected? Religious statutes protect them as a religion. So they making billions every year because they have a free, literal labor force. And then people pay to join this religion, and then you work for free for the rest of your life. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh
Yeah,
man, uphill battle, Rook. It's an uphill battle for sure.
thanks. Cat Williams, bro. Did you see what's going on with that?
Well, I told people Katt Williams a gangster, bro. He play in the street, just like Shaq. Shaq play in the street. There's several celebrities who play in the street. He's one of them. You feel me? He's definitely one of them. Well, last time I seen dude, I think he was hanging out a window with Suge Knight going crazy. And I know Suge almost ran somebody over in the Escalade. You feel me? That's the last time I seen. That's the last time I seen the dude in person. So they said his security killed somebody for him.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, we might if we see Katt Williams over here in Africa with me, we know what's going on. We know what's going on. If we see pull the Antonio Brown, we know what's going on. They say AB still on the road.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, AB. What you talking about?
Antonio Brown, they charged him
Oh,
with attempted murder.
oh, nah. Yeah, he's still on the run. He got a warrant out.
He got a warrant out, attempted murder. He did the race. He in Dubai, I think.
Oh, dang. Speaking about being on the run, um, what's his name? What's his name? What, Derrick Groves? He's still on the
Now,
run.
now, see, if he's smart, he done got down to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a handsome guy, like he got his shit together. You feel me? You not gonna disappear that long unless you got some women on the outside that you operating with, straight up and down. It's impossible. And now look, bro, I tell people all the time, you can either hide in plain sight or you can be out of sight, out of mind. Now, the benefit to him is being down in the South. There are a lot of rural areas, and there are different little settlements where groups of people show up in national parks and make their own little tent cities. You see what I'm saying? It's places you can hide. You gotta want to be gone though. The first things first is to go ghost on social media. A lot of guys we see who do the race, how do they get caught? Because of social media. He stayed completely off social media. Uh, they probably won't catch him for a long time because he's a smart guy. Look up Darren Berg. You feel Darren Berg? He been on the run about 8 years now. You feel me? So they got that initial window where they really have to hone all of their resources to try to catch you early, because the longer you stay gone, the harder it is for you to get located for sure. You know, it ain't no way he didn't went down. It probably done crossed over into Mexico for sure. Once you cross over to Mexico, you can fly out of there. A lot of ways to go ghost, bro.
Right.
Especially once you change your appearance. And then, you can pay somebody and you can pay to get a new social security number, change your appearance, go down to the DMV and get a license.
Yeah.
You you can pay somebody to get a passport. Get up out of here. You feel me? It
Yep.
can be done. It can be done. It can be done. The other guy was tweaking though. He on there talking about he innocent. He getting fits off. He was he was supposed to
He was doing a
goofy.
lot.
Goofy is we in the revenge of the nerds era, man. These boys are straight dorks, bro. Great.
You seen the T Grizzly getting away with the murder? I don't know if he did or not,
Well,
but
I don't know. We don't know if he getting away with it. You feel me? The problem is whenever you see these career street guys starting to pivot themselves into other aspects, they trying to get away from something. You feel me? We see T Grizzly do a transformation of his image. He became a married man. He stopped promoting violence online. He got into the gaming world with GTA heavily. We even seen him drive the Uber. We watched Dirk do similar things to clean up his image.
right,
Because, like I tell people, they have to tell you when you are being investigated on certain criminal levels. This situation, you got to look at it, bro. A lot of these law enforcement groups are men too, bro, and they remember how they investigated you for something, then you went and bragged about it on the song. They watching you in cars that they cannot afford. They watching you do things on the internet flexing. They watching this, so they gonna grow disdain for you. Point blank. Period. Erroneously, our culture has romanticized basically murder music,
right.
and I'll never forget in the Young Dolph situation, the people acted like an AI interface came together and pretty much had that case solved in a matter of hours.
They did.
They did. So the moment that you make something public information and you put it out there in the public, you're volunteering your story to go through this same process. The system has a fail-safe in it now, and it is the people who are digesting this information. You feel me? All of the clues to all of this is on the internet. Bad move. Bad move. It's just bullshit. But everybody associated with 600 OTF, everybody who has something to do with Duck Death, but they all gone. Generations of men gone. Children, no father. It's almost as if somebody won again. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's almost like somebody won again.
Talked about Young Dolph, Hernandez Govan. He was found not guilty. What's your take on
All I'm
that?
all I'm gonna say about this is this. Shout out Paper Route Woo. Everybody needs to go get that Abracadabra by Paper Route Woo. Give a real one his flowers. Because the dude Cornelius went up there telling for no reason. Govan, do not get kidnapped. All he did was go up there and tell on Woo. I know how that shit feel when you know it's money on your top. I know how that shit feel. He said it was 100,000 on Paper Route Woo head. It was 100,000 on Dolph head. They said it was 40,000 for for Glock, and it was 5,000 for Big Moochie Grape. Damn, only 5,000. they have they had 5,000 on Big Moochie Grape. Damn. So that go to show you what type of guy Paper Route Woo was in the street. So dude Cornelius said, "Yeah, I went over there outside Paper Route Woo house. They get the call Paper Route Woo at his crib. So y'all got people watching this man, plotting on his death, and then he said Paper Route Woo came out the door. He had his gun in his hand. That lets you know what type of man Paper Route Woo is, bro. You feel me? He not playing with this shit. It's belt to ass time. It's belt to ass time. Folks grade. On insane, bro. When it's that time, it's that time. It ain't no play. It ain't no, oh my God. No, it's straight monster mode. You feel me? And I respect that. Because when you know it's on and you got people who love you, it's your job to make it back to them. And if you signed up for this, so then the dude go van, he thought he was finna get booked. The feds might be coming after this though. You feel me? The feds might be coming because I seen the stress on Govan's face. Some of that shit Cornelius was saying was the truth. So it's like, damn, he was mad. He said, damn, y'all went over there with no mask on. This is why you don't hire junkies to do hits. The man was trying to get some more perks. That's all he could think about. He crashing out about it. You feel me? This shit. Shout out Paper Route Rule. Fuck her dad go on, bro. Like, I fuck with Dolph. Like, one of my first shows I ever did. You feel me? I was on the flyer, opened up for that man. You feel me? Shout out to Dolph, bro. Like, because ain't nobody to replace him. All of them people that man held, all the properties he owned down there, to get killed by nobody. Shit, over trying to get some cookies is crazy work on the guys. That type of shit just make you mad, bro. So shout out Paper Route Woo. Y'all got to get Paper Route Woo on here, man. I'm gonna try to set that up.
Yeah,
That's
set
who
that up
y'all
for us.
got.
We gotta talk to him.
They need to talk to Paper Route Woo, bro. I know how that shit feel, and I done been there when niggas came to collect that bag. I know what that's like having to shoot through the door. I know what that's like when it's like, damn, it's either me or you. You feel me? Man, I popped the motherfucker. I seen him asking me to call the ambulance. Like, dude, what? And it be them type of guys, bro. That's why that dude Cornelius, scum of the earth, piece of garbage, for sure, bro. He said Paper Rabu had his blick in his hand. He came out the door on the gas. That's how dude got taught us. That's how turn up guy said you gotta have that motherfucker up. You gotta have it up. It ain't no pulling it out, cocking it like this. The movies, boy, watch out. When you come outside, it's gotta be in your hand and up and ready to go. Pop out, blow. Fold now. I miss my. It used to go down. It used to go down. It used to go down, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I seen niggas get snatched out of wheelchairs before. Damn, pistol in his face, everything. Damn. What time is it, man? How long we been going? Cause
We've
the
been about hour and four.
okay. Cause I know the power be cutting off every day around the same time for like an hour. I don't want that shit to cut off on
Okay.
me.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, cause I know there's
Okay.
like the lights go out every night.
All right. Let's end it. Let's see what we want to talk about. One more thing. Young Thug snitching. We'll do that. Okay. And we'll leave it like that.
Now,
All right.
look, if you pay attention, all of this shit boils down to zestology. Because this is why in the Bible God got mad and let off a scream and started turning niggas into stone. He turned the whole cities into stone with Sodom and Gomorrah because niggas is out of control, zesty. Now think about this. We just seen them little guys in Atlanta pop out with their dresses on, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Who inspired that? Young Thug is the Atlanta guy that was walking around in dresses, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one calling Rich Homie Quan his hubby, painting his fingernails and doing all of this type of shit. Then we see Woody come out saying, "Man, Pee Wee, remember when you told Thug you was piping down the transvest? Thug is in a leadership role. Obviously, ain't no problem for him." Then what did the man do? He was coming at he was calling his album the Barter Six. What? He coming at Wayne. Then he started getting into it with Future. Him and Future able to mingle that relationship. You feel me? Not mingle, damn. They was able to save the friendship. You feel me? Then this man criticized Gunna, who is not no street dude. He was already on Crime Stoppers. Gunna was on Crime Stoppers. He was on Crime Stoppers. Why is y'all holding Gunna to these standards, man? That man not getting wild. He not doing no type of okay. Then look at this man legacy now. He turned everybody against each other. He convinced the young niggas to put on dresses. Wasn't he powered by Leora Cohen?
Mm.
Where's he from? What's his nationality?
Right.
It all boiled down to the same group of people. Paramount owns BET. The chairman of Paramount is a little blonde haired lady who's a
Crazy.
Jewish who's a Jewish woman. The same people who rebranded him from Jeffrey back to Young Thug. What is he? He's a Jewish guy. It's the same things over. Look how much destruction this one guy has caused for him and his people. And that ain't suspicious to nobody? Come on, man. The zest apocalypse out there. Ain't no way. It ain't no way a man in a dress can tell me to do anything. Fuck out of here, boy. Bro, the
I'm
guys would have rolled him right then and there. As soon as he stepped up in that dress, they would have just rolled his ass. Wow. Hands and feet. Crazy work, man.
well, we gonna leave it at that, bro. And get
Salute
out of
to you,
here, man.
brother. Salute to you, brother.
Man, we're gonna talk. We're gonna pick this up though, bro. But
Yeah,
you already
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You already know what it is, bro.
Yeah, I'm running
Big
a,
homie.
I'm running this. I'm running this a fire sale right now, man. Whatever you want
Right,
to,
right,
whatever
right,
you
right.
do, let's get it. Shout out real life.
All right. Well, we'll see you in just a second, bro.
I bet, bro.
Bet.
Real life.